Welcome inside the Madison Curling Club, where it is time, once again, for the Madtown DoubleDown, where 32 teams from around the world come to battle it out on our local ice here in Madison, Wisconsin. Technically McFarland, Wisconsin, but we call ourselves the Madison Curling Club here. We have 6 sheets of beautiful ice maintained by our volunteer staff and crew. They are excellent at what they do. And, you know, the sun may be shining, it may be cloudy. I don't really know because we're inside the curling rink, and that means it's a good day for curling. Because you know what we say, every day is a good day for curling. So welcome inside our little broadcast setup here in a corner of the club. I'm Chris Sorensen, and with me is Adam Derringer.
Adam Derringer, cheers.
He's ready to go. So we got a nice matchup here in this draw. We're looking at Taylor Anderson and Ben Richardson from Chaska versus Emily Schweitzer and Blake Hegberg from Minneapolis. So a battle of Minnesota, if you will. Some teams with some good accomplishments, like take this mixed doubles format very seriously. So we're excited to get out there and see what they can show us today.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, both national level teams. I'm just curious to see which Minnesotan comes out on top.
That's what we all come in here wondering. So it looks like Schweitzer Hegberg won the opening draw, so they'll be starting with the hammer. No, other way around. So Anderson Richardson did win that opening draw shot challenge, so they'll have the hammer. Getting the stone set up for that beginning position that we see every end of mixed doubles, and just kind of get our feel for that first draw. Like we've talked about in other go-arounds, it's really critical to lock it in from the first shot in mixed doubles. You can really control the way that the play goes with this critical first shot.
You're going to see a lot of action in mixed double curling. It's a little more aggressive. There's always a preliminary guard, and there's always a stone in the house right away. So you're not going to see a lot of blank ends, clear ends. There should be a lot of shots, a lot of action throughout the game.
Yeah, there's always rocks in play, which means there's always possibilities. So we're seeing Blake and Emily kind of, they're both going as if this was very short, but it looks like it's a pretty nice weight.
Oh, that's
Excellent start. Excellent start.
Like a 14-2.
So I was doing a little research before the game, and Anderson Richardson were 4th at the most recent USA National Mixed. So. And they have a history of playing together too, so
I agree. Curl side.
They definitely bring a lot of experience and knowledge of this relatively new format.
Getting better.
Research I did, Emily and Blake, very dedicated curlers. In fact, it sounds like in 2020, right in the pandemic, they moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota, specifically for curling.
Oh, that's dedication.
Didn't know anybody.
Well, curling's a pretty tight-knit community, so I imagine if you came for curling, you'd get to know some good people real fast.
Probably had a couple hundred friends in the first week or two.
Yeah. All right. So we're seeing the second shot here as we set up a positioning line. We don't have mics for these two players. Everyone has their choice of whether or not they choose to let us in. So we don't have the benefit of hearing their calls here, but we can still infer a lot from what they're doing and how they're signaling to each other on the ice.
You know, we're curlers behind the ice, so
nice.
We get to make all the calls about what they're thinking.
Right. So they'll have to deal with basically us talking about it more, which is, you know, I guess that's their loss.
Your gain.
Absolutely. I love to talk about curling. So a nice angle setup here early on. I feel like Red has a couple of good setups to move yellow back.
Wait,
so
close.
Anderson Richardson probably want to change
Top
things up a
forward.
little bit here with this stone.
Needs to curl.
Top 4T.
Starting
It's
to
out
curl
there.
now.
It's just
better.
coming back. They've
Line's
usually
good.
been snapping back pretty hard at the
Line's
end.
good.
There.
Not sure it's going to quite get to where they want yet.
Straight side.
Oh, they're definitely changing angles around here.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's a nice shot.
when you have those nice easy weights like that, you do get the maximum finish where the slightly heavier ones will hang straighter for longer.
Looks like it's setting up pretty nice for yellow.
Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of see upsides for both teams in the way this currently lies. Blake is up here trying to change angles on the left side approach. That's probably yellow's best way to get reds moving out of there.
Yep.
That definitely changes the way things looked.
Okay.
I think we can have
We're seeing that Redstone as the stealing team. They have one kind of in jail and touching the pin
I'm
at the same
nervous
time. So
it'll touch it, but it might roll off a bit.
be interesting to
You
see
think
how.
just like nose with like a
Listen
back
in.
line.
Okay, so
Nose
I
with
think
back line.
nose with back line would
Yep.
be like,
Yeah. And if we over curl and just roll in.
I was wondering what their approach might be to try and kind of unlock that currently counting stone. And they're playing kind of an easy weight. They're taking an easy weight approach here. They're
Either
not
that or
going with
we
the
throw, like, weight
blow
at
up
it.
strategies we saw in the
I like
previous.
this weight.
In the previous game, we saw a lot of reversion to big power, and this is
It's like heavy
Lots
draw.
of big weight.
yeah. So far, we're seeing the touch approach being applied here.
This will be their first game for the day on this ice. The weather is a little different today than it was yesterday. Regardless of how good your facility
little
is, the weather gets
Little light.
inside, just
Whoa.
Weight's
air
close.
gets through, so more
Little light.
humidity,
Yep.
temperature, all those things adjust
Yep.
the game. So they're just figuring out the ice here.
Hard.
Makes sense to me that they're playing
Hard,
a
you gotta
touch game
go.
to start before
Yes,
they
keep
start
going.
shooting big rocks.
Mm-hmm. Well, that one didn't seem to do what they were hoping to. They were calling for like was it a backline weight? And
Yeah, backline weight. They wanted right on nose, and they got another guard.
Yeah, opportunity here for Emily and Blake then. Can they kind of get a lock on this this steal position they're currently sitting in? All right, they're
Yeah.
both kind of guiding this one down.
Not a lot of weight again, so we got draw weight.
I think they're just trying to take away some of these
Angles.
angles on this left side, take away what your opponent's just tried to throw. That's if you don't know what to do, just try to make your opponent do something different. That's always a
Play the middle
good like
this
catch-all
way,
strategy to
here,
apply.
and
sorry, where do you want?
Like
Oh, okay.
play it this way.
Because yeah, right now I'm struggling for a
Like a hair on
plan
this
from
side.
Yellow's position to get that red out
Do
of
you want me
jail.
to catch rocks or
Yeah,
sweep?
I mean,
I think sweep is good.
they would have needed to rock earlier to maybe come at it from the right side and just tick something to open it up a bit, just to get things unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
Just like 7/8 on the left.
7/8 on the left call, so we're going to be running something back. Maybe try to get a double peel. That would be my thinking on this.
Yep. 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 Whoa. Yep. 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 Yep.
Yep.
There you go. So that definitely opens up that exposes a path at least toward the button. The position of those stones behind the tee there is still just wants to hold that counting stone in where it is. So be pretty happy for if you're in Emily and Blake's position, just kind of protect what you have.
Yeah, good position to start with a steal. You could pound those ones on the right, but I don't think it gets rid of the one that's sitting on the button right now.
Yeah, there's no space for it to move.
Red on the right. Try and move it.
They're looking at moving something in the house, so maybe do they have more aggressive ideas? This is the situation where we don't get the insight of their mics, so we get to speculate a little bit more what they might be thinking of.
I mean, if I'm red, I'm
Yeah.
probably happy with a steal of 1. I don't want to mess with my locked up stones back there because right now, if nothing changes, you've got a guaranteed 1. I'd maybe be throwing something just, right at center, have that other guard. That does not look like this shot. It looks like they're playing a tap on something. That weight.
Yeah, the speed she came out of the hack, it definitely looks like they're going into the house somewhere.
Yep. Yes.
Think they can
Yes.
pound that yellow right through that port? Like just that, no, it's going to overcurl. It's not going to, I don't think that's what they wanted.
No, that was not the plan. I was thinking that
They don't like coming and tapping. in.
maybe
They
their
always
thought
like
was to
tapping us out and give them
Yeah.
two.
send
Just
the
throw
yellow
away
back and just move it a little bit to make themselves lie
Yeah,
1
don't
and
need to
2.
have anything.
Mhm. So I was thinking you would have hit that yellow that's sitting on the top 4. Back,
Or
you
if
could
want,
maybe
you could
even
just
move
throw
the
a
yellow
draw to
on
the
the
button, like it's
back
not gonna
4
hurt us.
I was gonna do
Just
that
hit 1,
intern
2,
draw to the
and then
front.
still
Yep.
roll that red rock in front of red.
See the path.
But
Yeah,
no.
either way, I think no harm done. They're still in a pretty good position to end up stealing. Can Anderson kind of play a blast and see what happens? Is there risk here?
that's the only shot. Just throw hard.
Well, they see something else.
Yeah, they're
Be a little
doing
light.
something
Yeah,
different.
you can. Don't kill yourself. It's light.
It looks like they're thinking that there is a risk of maybe sending the
Okay.
yellow away and not. They felt there was more risk than it was worth to try and blast. So
Yep.
just leave it as it is. 1 point in mixed doubles is not a really big deal. So just kind of take your lump and move on. Is the
Yep.
approach there?
Yep, it's a steal, but it's the first end, so it's just the difference of a coin flip at that point.
Absolutely. So with that, Schweitzer Hegberg will take a 1-0 lead into the second end, which gives us a chance to read our title sponsor for the event, Modus Financial. Modus Financial is your credit card processing and POS technology solution partner. Whether you need a single credit card swiper, POS equipment, or an integrated POS system, Modus Financial has a solution. Modus Financial offers a wide variety of payment processing services, each with enhanced features designed to help process credit card payments, increase your sales, reduce expenses, and improve your productivity. Visit moduscc.com. So now we'll position the stones again for a second end start. See if Emily can put herself and her team in that same good starting position they did last time. It ended up working out for him. That stone never really wanted to leave for that whole end.
On the right side.
But
Come on the
you,
right
you
side.
do have the conversation that you typically have in mixed doubles is which side are you feeling right now? Do you have a in-turn, out-turn preference? Do you feel like you know the speed a little better on one side or the other? Because just finding the button with this first shot is important, and wherever you think you know the line, sometimes that takes precedence.
Plenty of room.
Yeah, at this
Mine's
level,
good.
you're probably not going to run into people that prefer an in-turn or out-turn. You
Yes.
shouldn't really adjust your shot at this
Yes.
level.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Depending on the clubs you're playing in, and what sheet you're on, you can find advantage playing right side of the sheet or the left
I'm
side of
taking
the
more ice
sheet.
because my last one overcurled
Yep.
again.
It
like
shouldn't
that.
be the case here.
Yep, absolutely. Every sheet of ice has its own variances, but I don't think there's any kind of,
Close.
smaller
Ice
club
good.
wall side effects or
Top
anything like
14.
that happening on this sheet that we've seen. Ice
Line's
has been
good.
real good condition.
Always straight. Always straight. Line's good. Yep, drag it straight.
So they did end up ticking
Drag
on
it.
the guard for that first
Drag it.
shot, which opens up possibilities here for Anderson Richardson.
Probably just a
But,
fresh
yep.
pass.
Yeah, I must
You heard her say it. They just
just-
found a fresh path there. Didn't carry the way they expected to get down in there.
Now the sheets all get conditioned
So, like,
between
here-
every game, so everything would
Yeah.
have been scraped and pebbled and nipped.
Just tee.
So there shouldn't be a lot of frost on the ice here, but
Yep. Not a frost condition, but just do you end up in a line that hasn't been swept yet? Do you end up in a line where rocks haven't been running yet? These little things play a big factor.
'93. 93.
93 on that, so it means the ice is probably pretty fast.
They're 93 and no touching, which means they think they're to tee on their own probably.
Gotta curl.
So and it's not curling up, so maybe they're
Hard.
thinking angle tap,
Hard.
plan B on this. I see a creative
Also just
adjustment made
off
there.
now.
So they're able to get
Yeah,
one
I'm
onto the
just thinking
button.
it's hard 'cause those are
Maybe not the way
staggered.
they
You
drew
need
it
to
up,
move
but
it.
the result they're looking
Like
for is
double
pretty
down
good.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. Come sweep then.
Yep. I'm just looking at it.
So I think you'll see Anderson Richardson try to follow that same path. The downside of making that creative tap is it does
And
kind of open up the route
Hit
for a
and
draw
roll's
now.
fine here too.
Yeah, I'll throw the out turn
Okay.
just in case we do that. I'm gonna throw like
Oh,
firm.
never mind. I thought we were following down, but a firm call lets us know we're going to be moving some rocks.
Open it up. Yellow's
Solid.
got a hammer, so
Close.
they
Whoa.
clearly just don't want that many rocks in play.
Close.
Yeah, I think Richardson's looking
Oh,
at this
yep.
double here. Can he
Yep.
catch the red and flop in?
Yep. Hard.
It's there.
And
Good
he's
shot,
made it.
Ben.
Great shot.
Thanks for catching that.
Downside is both your yellows are sitting back of 4, so
I don't
red
mind
can
that.
come right back down in there again, either freeze on it or hit and roll behind.
Yeah, this bring. Oh, they're okay. They're going with the attack
wait.
mode. They're thinking hit. I'm seeing a hit broom there. Okay, so they can try to double right back. There's a bunch of approaches you could take here. You could go the aggressive route and use those as drawbacking, or just try to play it simple and keep the scoring to a minimum with a double here.
Yes.
Wait.
She says yes out of hand.
Whoa. Whoa.
Ooh, I think we're rolling under instead of
Girl.
doubling maybe here.
Sorry. My
Kind
bad.
of they're caught between two ideas, I think.
Yeah. If you stay on that sweep, you maybe
Good
catch the
drawing.
double, but you're rolled outside.
You like saving this so just straight draw.
Yeah.
So maybe
You like
plan A
that?
all the time.
Yeah, I'm
I
good with
did miss call. Maybe it wasn't for the double. Maybe they were trying to get one and roll into position that way. But this leaves an opportunity as the hits happen. We'll sort of move up the sheet a little bit each time. So now Ben can try to roll one, roll two, roll it so they lie 2 undercover in this way. Maybe still lies behind the tee though.
Wait's close.
Line's good.
Top 4.
Clean.
Top 4, just
There right now. It's
just
close.
straight up drawing.
Clean. Line's good.
Top 4. There on its
14-1.
own. Can't touch it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can't touch it.
A little heavy, maybe.
D-
That's how they're calling
It's-
it.
It's just there in its own. It'll stop as shot stone back there, so yellow will be lying 1 and 3. But they're not happy to be slipping behind the tee line, I would imagine.
No,
Don't
I don't
mind
think so.
being,
I would think
like,
red is probably going to, I think I would draw down on
Deep
top of them.
here. I don't mind being like deep here. I don't want.
Because there's 2 sitting there kind of frozen,
Okay.
red's got some wiggle room, so they could be a little heavy and tap one, but still
try top
freeze. Which might actually be ideal for them.
Right.
98.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do see a lot of mixed doubles locking into that draw heavy draw. Which comes in handy in a lot of situations, I think this being one of them.
Mm-hmm. It's got to move a lot.
They may be thinking plan B is here.
Maybe tick off the
Okay.
red.
It's
Ooh,
found
here
a
it
big
comes,
turn.
Here it comes.
Wow, that was perfect. I was in doubt that it was going to come up, but it really did.
It turned a lot.
Oh, sweet.
That's why we're calling the game.
That's why we're on this side of the glass,
It is
yes.
probably going to be behind the tee line, but it'll be against 3.
That way was perfect.
Like firm again?
I think I'm going to throw peel this time.
Okay, so a double opportunity, though, with the way they're offset. If you can hit the outside red thin and kick over, you can get the one on the pin there moving straight sideways, and maybe it doesn't get caught by the yellows in the back.
So by perfect, I meant it was 4 inches too heavy.
You know, perfect is so
whoa.
subjective, you know?
Whoa,
That's pretty close.
Clean.
They might
whoa. Watch the red.
Might
turn
have
a little
this
bit
one.
more.
Thanks, guys.
Just perfect there may have been just a little thinner.
Yep. If it was another, if it curled another inch, I think they
Like
could have popped that red out into the
here?
12-foot and
Okay.
then what they're looking for.
They did move it off the pin, so they do have shot, and they kicked that red to second, so that's good.
And red's exposed on the left if they need it.
That's what I was just thinking about, is how easily does that red leave on a second try? It does have a little bit of a wall behind it, but you could probably get there.
I think so. Hack weight, you'd probably get to the inside of that.
You gotta keep it straight on the inside path a little bit.
So red's job probably here is to get another one in there. Get some insurance against that lonely red getting picked out.
I think I'd be going just to the inside of yellow.
Yep, same line we've been
Yep.
playing. Last shot of the end for
Whoa!
Schweitzer Hegberg.
Whoa! Curl! Wait, straight! Straight!
Yeah, where's that? Is the big finish going to be on this line again? It looks like it is.
Hard!
Got to hold it here. Little tap and stick.
Should be okay.
I think that's going to be great. Yeah, Anderson Stupera basically forced to draw the button for one. That's the result you'd like as red at the beginning.
Yours was like
I
a
think so.
14-2 to back 4.
Yeah, so like 14-4, 14-5 even should be good.
Yep, talking through the speed. We've been playing this side of the sheet the whole end, so I feel like it's been picking up just a little bit each shot we play.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice path here.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice
pretty
path is a nice way of saying it's fast here.
It's fast. We know what it is. Don't play the other side.
Yep.
Not right now.
Nope.
Too much risk. Red's sitting 1-2.
I got pretty close.
Line's good.
I think it's there.
Line's good.
Can't touch it.
If they can get the curl, they could touch off the red and be okay, but they need it to come over and slow down.
I think they think it's hot.
Yep.
So even if it goes and sits on the back yellow, it at least is out counting one.
Yep, that would be good to cut one.
But it's not gonna do it.
It spills off. That's going to be another 2 for Schweitzer Hegberg. Still take a 3-0 lead going into the third end.
Gives us an opportunity to talk about our sheet sponsor, Revive Restoration. Revive Restoration is Madison's largest independent family-owned restoration company. We have been successfully restoring damaged properties in central Wisconsin area for thousands of homes and businesses owners. Revive offers complete emergency mitigation services for properties affected by water, fire, smoke, mold, and trauma. Our emergency response teams are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can direct them to our website. That is going to be at revivepros.com. Thank you to our sheet sponsor, Revive Restoration.
Yep, our sponsors make this event possible, so we're always thankful for them. And we're right back into the action. So we got a little bit of the curse of the hammer going on with this game. So far, the hammer has not been favored.
Chris and I were talking on previous games. There's just some skips that love playing without the hammer. They just love frustrating the other team, just putting them into positions that they don't want to be in. You can control the game when you don't have the hammer. It's a challenge, but you can, like golf and other sports, sport can get in your head and you're unsure of your weights and you're unsure of what your strategy is going to be, and that seems to be what Schweitzer Hedberg's trying to do.
Yeah, and the game itself, the format lends itself to messy ends from the start just due to the non-removal rules that exist here, so it just naturally becomes complicated, and some teams thrive in that environment. So the first draw didn't go exactly where Schweitzer Hegberg were looking for. The weight was there, but it just over-curled a little bit for them, so it didn't end up locked in on that back yellow starting stone. Opens the door for Anderson to put one in there.
A great opportunity.
Whoa.
This looks like a...
Shot.
I like it.
Yep, right on tee.
Ben obviously had the opportunity to sweep that down if he thought that was the best play, but they're opting to stay just in front of the tee there, kind of control the end this way.
Yep.
I generally like to play on top of the 4 foot versus behind the 4 foot. A little different in mixed doubles. perhaps the advantage of going deeper and locking in. It's a little harder to knock out of there. But being in front of the 4-foot gives you more control of the game in the house.
Right.
Might check out.
In front is almost always better.
Coming.
This
Yep.
is the format's unique because you have that freeze target there from the first shot of the game. So we're going to see this one curl up and tick the guard. This is what I've been referring to as the draw blocker.
Yeah, it might be.
Feels like
yeah.
it kind of closes off some of the options coming in from either side. I mean, they didn't split too far in this case, so there are still draws possible, but it changes the line you're playing. Takes you maybe a little wider than you've been playing the rest of the game. Mixed doubles is kind of unique because you don't often have the reason to come out here into the 12-foot lines just a little bit wider than typical, so you're sort of guessing how fresh are we going to see this ice.
You're guessing on that. You're guessing on, you kind of have an arc. You know, anytime the game's called curling, so you start throwing, depending on where you are, 4 feet,
Out the hair
6
light.
feet,
Clean that,
10
yep.
feet outside of where your target is. That's the curl. But you want to find the peak of that
Line's
curl,
good.
and then if you really want it to snap in, that's what they're calling the sweep for right now, is to get this thing to snap in. Also for weight in this case, it looks like.
Girl, all the way, full 4, full 4.
So they're
got it,
coming
man.
around the guard
Drag it,
into
you
the
got
top
it.
4.
Go, 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 go. Good sweep.
Even curlers need to be reminded that the game is called curling. the point is that the rocks don't go straight.
You'd hate to
Really?
come on this side again.
I know
but
it sounds counterintuitive, but I find it to be
you're
typically
gonna
true.
have this tap.
So an interesting setup. They were able to find, with a nice sweep there, a path into the top 4. They didn't get out counting the red, but that's a lonely red right now behind a couple of guards.
Yeah. If that sits there like that, you
Not
could
really.
probably get to red enough. It's going to run into yellow, but it's still going to be able to run into yellow and flop back into the back 8, back 12. I don't know if the strategy would be to move that right now because it's still
If
a
you
catcher
like the
stone.
guard over
Right.
here, it's fine.
There's timing. So the draw around attempt is coming in here.
Line's good. Yep, line.
Ooh.
Short?
Is it, just watching Emily take a little spill there, getting back on the line call.
Yep.
The line looks pretty good. They just can't quite drag it as far as they want. Maybe this is okay,
Ooh.
actually.
That's carrying.
I'm trying to think through.
Yeah, so hit this one first, right?
Yeah. So if you know,
And it might go like that.
I wasn't sure how many shots ahead they were thinking with that, because maybe if they're thinking they're putting extra protection to their center line guard, this is maybe the shot they were looking for, because as soon as it came to rest, they popped up, were peeling. So
Probably like a third, I suppose.
without hearing the conversation between them, what
You think it's a little
their
thinner than that?
exactly their target was, there's an argument that
I
this
like
is exactly what they wanted potentially.
It seems like it. I'm not. The strategy here, like for me, I mean, they're ripping those reds. I think
Close. Yep.
you're trying to get both of
Hard.
them.
Just get the top 2. Yep.
Thanks.
See this red guard now, you can kind of see it's protecting a bit of this yellow angle to kick their shot stone out. So it does have strategic value here, thinking a couple of shots ahead, I think.
Yep. Depending on weights, red might be able to get around and move that rock that's on the button area just to be able to tick it a bit. With as much as it's snapping, there's definitely enough room to get to it. If I were red, maybe I'd be thinking about it, but
Yep. A little more than your last, a little more
I
line.
suppose it's a point of note. Curling's not curling because the stone arcs, and curling's curling because you twist the stone.
Oh, I actually did not know that. Curling's an old game. So
I
it's
might be wrong there.
plenty of history there to learn. Yeah, so Joel is telling us off air that curling
Curl it.
was curling before the handle was even put on, so it's not for that reason.
Curl.
I'll have to educate myself off air at some point. So a nice draw weight here coming in. They didn't quite,
Love that.
I think they were hoping to get a little across,
Okay,
but
wait.
it's not a bad position for them. It provides some insurance. Oh, maybe it is a bad position. Maybe it's a
Make it like a
double.
control.
They're looking at doubling those two reds
You
off.
Want me to see?
Yeah.
So it does seem like a pretty good opportunity if they can
Like
make
to get on the
that inside
but even if he
contact.
just knows it.
Yep,
Yeah, nose
nose
is
works
fine.
and a little inside
Oh.
is all good outcomes for
Oh, wait.
Anderson Richardson here.
Stay close. Nice girl.
Light. It's definitely light.
Close. Yep. Whoa.
Light.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Hoping
Girl.
to just get into the inside of
Girl.
nose here ideally.
Hard, you
Oh,
got
looks
it.
like it's
Hard.
got it.
Any
Looks
roll.
good to me. They're making the fine adjustments down the ice, lying 4 behind cover.
Good.
That
Ben.
is a great result. If you're red here, how do you do some damage reduction?
Yeah, I was looking at the path between those 2 yellows in the top 4. Can you ever curl up and wiggle in there, or do you hit what you can see of the outside yellow?
If that outside top 4 yellow, if you can put enough on it, almost get to nose, I think you could actually triple those reds. It's just a matter of if you could get there. I think you could triple those yellows.
I'm seeing what you're pointing out there. I think that's possible. They're looking at a run back of the stone they positioned earlier. There is kind of a little bit of a catcher's mitt if you get the angle right here. It would kind of settle in top 4.
And they'd count down and sitting number 2.
It seems like that's what they're settling in on. I'm trying to read their body language and see if they're, because sometimes you'll see teams look at a shot on one end of the ice and while they slide down, they change their minds.
Yeah.
So just trying to see if we can pick up anything about the shot selection here.
Okay.
You know, it's a difference when you're playing competitive curling. You'll have generally 2 people on either side of the ice, and they can give you different reads and what can you see. And the team can certainly, the front end can change the back end's mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hard.
Okay, looking to play a tap on that red. Got to stay off the guard.
Whoa. Whoa.
Coming onto the guard. Unfortunately, I think that does end up lying a 5, so we'll have a draw for the maximum here for Anderson Richardson.
So I think if you're throwing edge of 8, it should be about the same speed.
What a swingy game this
Maybe
can
like
be.
A couple feet slower.
Yeah, you can see his reaction on the ice. He's like, what the heck? He didn't think that was
Maybe
going to
as long as
happen.
you're first, I think
Yeah.
you're perfect.
Okay.
We have some backing for.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You got it.
Is this one of those shots we referred to as the hardest shots in curling?
Yeah, open draw. Just got it. Basically full 12.
Line's
Full
good.
12 gets you
Straight.
6 points.
Line's good.
Chris, I don't know about you, but
wanna help?
sometimes I hate these things. I actually, yeah, look at it, like, oh, she almost fell. So it gets in your head. You're like, I
Yep.
can't throw this too hard, or I can't throw it too light.
Oh, look
They've
at all
got
that
it.
panic.
She,
Look at all that
yeah,
panic.
it was totally fine. It was totally fine, but she was, you could see it. Like, even at the level that they're playing and as good as they are, she got nervous that she might miss this opportunity.
Yeah. They want that 6 end.
Sorry, I just
Absolutely.
fell on the rock.
A very nice draw there to score 6 for Anderson Richardson. They'll go up 6-3 as we enter the 4th end. So our sponsor for Team Anderson Richardson after that 6-ender is PowerMation. At PowerMation, we bring you industrial automation solutions that power your success. From robotic integration to advanced sensors and much more, we're a trusted partner for manufacturers across the Midwest. Whether you're streamlining production or enhancing safety, we're with you every step of the way. Visit us at powermation.com to learn how we can help drive your business forward. Well, I have to say, the feel of this game, the momentum, has to have shifted after that last end.
I think what you need is some powermation and that power sweeping.
Make that joke on with your mic on, Adam. I turned it on for you.
With an extra little powermation, I think they could have definitely not have to worry as much about the sweeping.
You got that right. So here we go, fourth end.
Weight's close.
I felt like it was a lot more, Ben.
Okay. Weight's good.
Line's
Interesting
good.
to see your throw right after that
Ball
draw
trap.
for 6 and the
Line's good.
little mini panic that wasn't warranted. See, like,
Line's
for
good.
me, if I had just done that, I would probably throw this draw at about hack weight, maybe.
Straight.
Right, just make sure it's there and a little 12-foot more.
Ben.
Yeah.
You're really curling there.
So just maybe a touch heavy and threw a little inside. It's really curling now.
Yeah, it finished pretty hard and was just a hair heavy. So obviously she's very close to the target weight there. Wasn't off by much, but just that little bit can change a freeze into kind of a open shot behind the tee line.
Chris, you want to know what makes me feel good about watching people better than me curl?
I would love to know what makes you feel good about people better than you curling.
They fall down too.
They do fall down.
I have a rule: if you're ever thinking about just getting into curling or you're new, if you're falling while throwing the stone, first thing, don't hit your head. But beyond that, you have to make the shot. You just full swan dive onto the ice, see how far you can make it, but you have to make your shot every time you fall down. It's a rule on my teams.
Oh, that's a good rule. I should think about instituting that. Yeah, especially if you fall forward, I call that a Superman.
Yep.
People look pretty cool doing that. So
Yep. Or a penguin belly slide.
yeah, I mean, no matter what you do, you better be having a good time about it.
Yeah, make it look good,
Yeah,
Back 8.
especially if you're on camera.
especially if you're on camera.
Hard.
They're really working to get this by. I think he's got it.
Back 8. Back 12.
Whoa, clean.
We're trying to make a little contact and flop to the middle, I believe here.
Just
Good.
Real
touch.
nice.
Yeah. You didn't want to touch that too much. You want those catchers right there.
Setting up a little red wall
You
in
can tap
the
it this way.
back 4.
Okay.
Now, Blake's saying, can he shoot this out the side? Is that what you want to do here?
I think if he hits about a quarter of the rock, it should yellow probably slip by. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe just 20% of that rock, it'd probably get out. But you're just going to have the same shot by yellow
Right.
if you do it.
So if you think kind of just straight ahead, getting rid of it, then it's open for them to put it back better. So instead, I think they're going to try and play a more of a touch shot here, see if they can get across the nose and send it a little to the side and take a better position with the thrown stone themselves.
Oh,
That's going to be really weight sensitive here, I think. We've seen some pretty hard cuts happening at the end of these.
Looks like kind of back 12 weight, something like that.
Yeah, it looks really nice if they hold it off the guard. Hold it
It's
to make.
really turning.
It's
oh,
turning
got
big.
it by.
Now it's got to touch this yellow. Pretty good. I think they wanted to get it a little thicker, but got most of the
Still
job done
behind
there.
the tee line, but I think that's okay. Even if we go here.
But if we go here,
I guess we could just straight draw again.
So almost
That's a draw.
actually
Especially
looks like
for
a
second. Yeah.
batter's cage right now. You just got that whole wall behind there.
And when they're arced up like that, you can just kind of visualize all these places and all these angles that a stone can get caught up.
You could almost come at it the other way now. It's almost a better angle to come in. But you're playing with different ice over there. We haven't seen as many shots thrown that way. You've got more chances to hit a lane just because that ice is fresher. So a lot of people like to play the same side that they've been seeing it.
Yeah, that's where I would be. Give me the shot I just saw. I think I know what it's gonna do.
where?
Even if the
Felt like back tee.
angle setup maybe is just slightly
Well, then,
favorable the other
it's
way, I
close.
might just throw the same thing again anyway.
I think it'll get there. It's close, still a little hot.
Well then.
Looks like this is gonna run into the red wall back there. Oh,
Okay.
it stopped up. I thought it looked like it had carry, but it just came to rest right at the top button. Pretty nice.
So in this case, you could almost come from the other side and maybe chip it. I don't know. I don't know.
the
It's
same
pretty hard to
thing.
get out.
Oh, you saw Emily kind of gesturing with her broom there. Can you tap it toward this little gap in the wall?
And there's a couple rocks left, so I mean it's not a bad time to try it.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the hammer positioning for Emily and Blake here, and thinking, how do you get a multiple from this position?
If you hit outside yellow thin from the left side and slash it across, you may be able to move them that way. You're probably going to move a red out of position.
Close. Yep.
Coming in at some kind of back house weight. I think they're looking for some finish to touch the one on the button. And look at it finish.
Yeah,
it absolutely is.
Yep. Look at it go. Look at that.
Navigated that little port between the reds. What a shot.
Draw. Yeah.
Okay.
Play it like a
They're
draw.
sitting 2 right now.
Yeah, they're lying 2 and controlling right in
Still
front of the
a way
button
to
at
do
the
here.
same time. So
This side, I like this
Anderson
side.
Richardson going to look
Yeah, I
at
think
getting in
so.
through the side door, playing off of this yellow, off of this red on the side.
I like to see it. You know, they just let a 6 get laid on them, and they're coming right back in.
Yeah.
Good chance in order to pull back. Maybe get back within 1 or tie it back up.
Yeah, they're definitely putting the pressure on. Like to see it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the logo of the Power Mesh, and it kind of looks like a broom.
Yeah, a little bit. It cycles by on
Mine's
the
good.
stream.
Where?
Back team.
I think one of the brilliant things of the
Close.
It's good.
curling Canadian was when Swiffer started sponsoring in the Canadian leagues.
Yep. Yep. Hard.
That's a sponsor match made in heaven.
Hard.
It's
Hard.
curling up toward that top
Oh, yeah.
one.
Yep. Roll it. 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 Roll it.
All right.
Good.
Kind of analyzing this complex cluster we have in the forefoot. Is it still 2 for red?
It's right there. They're gonna measure it.
Just bump it
The
back.
cameras again to the
here.
audience are not perfect. They're pretty close, but when you get this tight,
We're-
don't trust the
we'll
cameras.
roll here.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they're very similar, you're
Little bit.
served to measure it, because there's just too many. These it looks, when you get over it, you're like, oh, I can see some paint, I can see whatever. But when you get out the measuring stick, it's fractions of inches you're talking about here, and the eye can trick you.
But that 1 point, it'll make or break your game.
Right, fraction of an inch points matter. We're looking at these games where, I don't know, 10, 15 points are scored, so one's a big deal. So what's the move here, do you think, for Schweitzer Hagberg?
I'm trying to think of that. You could almost, if you could hit like an inch inside on that front red 4, it might push that back one back to the yellow, and you'd flop back over in front of yellow on the left, and you'd maybe sit 1-2, 1-2-3. It could push that back one back a bit, maybe pull you back into a chance for 4 at a certain point, depending what happens on the yellow on the left. There's options.
Yeah, it's a complicated one. They called their timeout to talk through it.
Nope.
It's a measure for 2 as it
Back
lies right
4
now.
weight.
Back 4 just kind of tap this one back. I think the catchers will
No,
prevent it from leaving
I don't like
being
that.
shot.
I think almost even a nose or just inside of nose on that front red will put you in a
If it
position for
just
sure for 2, maybe
Crosses
3.
it though, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, a lot of what I'm thinking about is where the thrown stone ends up
I
with
like
these
back 4.
options. Just making sure that it's fully in the forefoot. There's only a few places where that can happen.
Yep.
Since
It looks like-
it's so populated right now, there's not that many places that you can get full 4 with a thrown stone.
Yeah, there's only 1 or 2 stones out of play at this point, so
Yeah.
it kind of looks like they're playing onto nose or inside a nose on red.
I think so. Yeah, they had called their timeout, had a chat about this one, how to maximize the situation. Came up with just like that, a draw, heavy draw, get across. See how we can manage this one.
Close.
So we've been
Gotta
seeing,
go.
yeah, we've been
Gotta
seeing
go.
big
Yes.
finish. We've been seeing on this line.
Yes.
Got to hold it.
You do not want to hit too thin. Oh, no.
Oh,
Well, that's going to change things a bit.
Yep.
I can't hit this.
So now the whole middle is open for
If
hit
you
weights.
kind of draw.
So on the positive
Here
reason
and
why you
kinda-
have all those catchers,
I'm just nervous.
It would be
Ever, like,
really,
tap
really
this,
hard to
and he could have,
move
like,
that front red that's
ripple.
wide open out of
I
there.
don't think so.
Well, if I ever move this.
Yeah.
You want to call a time and talk about it?
No, it's okay. It's a draw right there.
Was this a
No.
I
timeout
think
moment?
you're just
Was the
trying to draw,
question?
like, right in
Guess
the middle
not.
of these two.
Okay.
And you can throw like back 4,
Okay,
and
so
if we do a little something like this,
They're
that's fine.
okay. They're trying to draw and kind of wiggle one through there. It's what it looked like to me. Send the number 1 red off to the side and see if the shooter can kind of scoot into the button.
Seems like the least amount of damage from that stem point for them.
Line's
And
a
then,
little tricky with that guard.
if they can,
Yeah, I still think edge of 8 is good.
red's
like
topping
a
out
eight?
at one point, probably.
And you're basically just throwing it like your
Yeah, I would
first
agree.
shot, you know, like T-line.
Yep.
You got it? It's like a 14-2.
I think all your good results come from getting there, though. This is one you don't want to come up short on.
Got a little light.
Line's good.
So we call it a little light.
Like to go for weight.
Wait only.
Yeah, Ben likes it for weight, so
Line's good.
he's
Line's
he's giving it that, like, he was starting off at that 50 to 70%, and now he's going
Line's
hard.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Curl.
See if they can navigate it toward that gap. They're a little square on
Yeah.
that top red.
I don't think
In
it,
there. Shot.
oh,
That's good enough to be second for sure. So now it looks like basically the force is on. Is there any creative way to get a second red in there?
you could chip the side red, but that's high risk. You could potentially, if it curls up high, you could shoot that one of those top yellows right through, right onto the button.
Right.
But the only way I see to get one in there is just to chip that red over about 4 inches.
Yeah, it has to go very sideways as well.
I mean, you'd be throwing back 12 weight and just touch it.
Yeah, I think that's what Blake is looking at here. He kind of pointed at it. Oh, he's bringing the broom in tighter, so I think they're going more than back 12. So long as it doesn't find a way to curl up and hit the
Top yellow.
top yellow. Well, not the top one like the guard, but the one in the top 4.
Yeah.
You'll be good to go. There is some risk here. Oh, it's curling up a little
Yeah,
early
it's-
on him.
I think it's on yellow. Good.
So
Yeah.
want to hit this thin so you don't end up promoting any yellows in. There you go. So it ends up just being the one. After a lot of possibilities, it settles in on 1-4 red.
Yeah.
So we'll see it be a 6-4 lead for Anderson Richardson as we head into the 5th end.
And with that, we have our team sponsor, the Hamilton family, otherwise known as the Ham Fam. This is Scott Hamilton. We have Becca and Matt Hamilton playing in this event. They're well-known American team players represented, but we appreciate the entire Hamilton family for their continued support of the Madison Curling Club. They've been longtime members. I fret to admit that I have beat Matt once or twice, but I think he might have been 12 years old when I beat him.
That's the best time to get him, I think.
Oh, yeah, you gotta get him when they're young.
Thank you, Ham Fam. Well, setting up here for the 5th, going into the back half of the game. So far, we have a close one. Schweitzer Hagberg definitely started out hot, and then that 600 definitely changed the feel of the game. So now they're back in that position where they were looking their strongest, if I'm honest, without the hammer getting in that steal position. See if they can get some more of that going.
Yep, fine.
Teams seem to be favoring this the same side of the sheet no matter
the
which
guard.
house we're throwing toward. This one's coming up on the guard, though.
It's scary to play the other side, and when I'm playing, it almost gets worse because the one side's just sitting there. If a game's going an hour, 2 hours in, and you haven't played that side, you know less and less about it.
Right.
Mixed doubles
Heavy.
as a
Close.
flavor
there,
of the
Ben,
game
back four.
does,
I think it's
in general,
close.
move quicker,
All 4.
so the sheets don't sit idle as long.
Weight's good.
Yeah, to play the
That's good.
game, it
Straight.
feels very fast because you have to get up and down the sheet all the time. You have to make these decisions. Got to get up and sweep and throw, and just 5 throws per end, and you're just, it feels like go, go, go. Not to mention, in this format, we are playing under thinking time clock, so they're incentivized to keep the pace up, which is nice as well for us as viewers. Great draw and recover there. Top 4 and back 4 now for Anderson Richardson.
It's not just viewers. Otherwise, you and I would have to come up with a lot more things to say.
This is true.
I'm not sure if our audience would appreciate that. Or maybe you would. I don't know.
Got a curl. Yep.
The chat is silent,
Yes.
so I assume we aren't doing anything too bad.
Yes. Yes.
Can they drag this one around that top 4? Take a little piece of it, maybe?
Little tick. Little tick.
It's not a bad position to have, though.
Got a guard.
That is,
Stab and play.
that is potential.
Even just back 4 weights.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, just like back 4. And we can play it tight, because if we tick this, that's fine.
So they're going to try to move that red out of there, it looks like.
Yeah, interesting call. I was thinking that's probably what Schweitzer Hagberg would like to do, is kind of play this at back 4 themselves. So this is a delicate shot you don't want to make for your opponent. If you can take it away, great, but the takeaway and the doing it for them are right next to each other.
It's a very high-risk shot.
Yeah.
Line good.
Back 4,
Clean.
back 8,
Clean.
back
Oh.
4.
Whoa.
Okay, the weight is what they're looking for. Now it's what's the crow
Roll
going
light.
to do?
Clean.
It's going to snap here in a bit.
Straight.
Here it comes.
Straight. 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 Still straight. Still straight.
Perfectly
Pretty good
made.
shot.
Hard on that one. Go, 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 go. Hard, 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 hard.
Good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Like I said, like I would be too scared to throw that shot. Ben executes wonderfully there.
Probably.
Takes away that
Might
threat
go over the
completely.
top.
Red could use red and
Sure.
flop over behind those yellows. That's a possibility.
Yeah, it's an entry point to get toward the back button area, but nowhere near the threat it was before to tap frozen or buried or anything like that.
And a curl.
Red's clearing. Try to get more access points.
Yep, gets a double peel,
God.
Oh!
catches their own.
Well, that wasn't entirely what they needed or wanted, but it was fun to
They
watch.
have a nice double.
I like to see
but,
stones
it'll be
moving.
high enough, we can then just hit and roll somewhere.
Do we ever put one like top 12?
The only thing
Yeah,
I'm a
so
little
now
afraid of is
I'm
maybe
looking
they
at
come
this
here.
from the you're
I'd like
trying
to
to
keep
steal
like this
perspective,
open.
and things are wide open.
I think I'd either like to go here or here.
Go over there.
It's a little tough. It's a tough position.
I'm not complaining if I'm yellow.
Nope.
I would probably be putting a guard center.
Yep, put something in the center. Put it on the rings even. Scoreboard-wise, you're not too afraid of them removing a lot of stones if that's what they want to do.
Doesn't look like that's the.
That is not a center guard broom, so they're thinking something else. Are they drawing behind the corner?
Where?
Kind of looks like
Not
it.
like T-line.
Line's good.
Spread it out.
It's close.
Starting to curl.
I mean, that does make a lot of sense.
Really
You're kind of
curling.
saying
Top
red's
eight.
going to continue to
Line's
blast.
good.
At the end, we'll have a draw or a hit for 2.
T.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine with us.
Yeah, I mean, red doesn't have anything left on the rings. That's
Oh.
hot.
Oh, oh.
We'll slip to the back.
All right, that works.
Wasn't sure how much that would sit there,
Yeah.
so I kind of.
A little higher might have been better for
Yep.
them. It has a chance to get caught by some of these stones as they leave the house, but I still would rather be yellow than red, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Yellow's going to be able to
Yep.
probably take aim at anything that red throws from this point out, and they'll have hammer. So they're probably looking at least a deuce.
Mm-hmm.
Hard.
So there's that catcher.
Yeah, the catcher comes into the play. Get 2 yellows move.
You can come sweep.
Yeah, I think it will move.
Yeah, it will. I'll take.
So
plenty
Yellow's
eyes.
going to keep trying to spread the rocks out, and keep as many on. Don't have anything that they can come down and hopefully sit upon, which is probably going to be what red's going to have to do, is maybe freeze down to that back 4 yellow.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if we're going to see all hits from here out or if at some point
Hit the wide side.
red
of it.
changes gears and tries to make a freeze
Control.
toward the end. freeze one or hide one, if there's anywhere left.
Not much to hide behind right now.
It's sort of weird in mixed doubles to say nowhere to hide because there's almost always somewhere.
Yep. Yep. Whoa.
It's almost set up like a power play end right now. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, it does look like that.
Yep. Yep.
it's a pretty good shot.
Roll it.
Yep, that'll do the job. It'll sneak by the
sit three.
catcher and roll over lie 3. So
It's about ideal for what yellow wanted out of that.
I'm trying to count to 5 right now. This is Schweitzer Hagberg's last shot, I believe, right? Yep.
10-5. 10.
So they're going to try and make this a hit and roll, maybe remove 2.
Counting's hard.
Counting is really hard. I have 5 fingers and I still can't do it. So if this hit is made, it probably sits second there. It doesn't end up being shot, does it?
Yeah.
Because if you could draw up a way to be behind those 2 and shot.
I think if it sits on the corner, but it'd be exposed, and then I think it would give yellow a shot to
Yeah, well,
hit.
yeah, I don't think there's anywhere where yellow has no shot, so just trying to make it look as scary as possible.
That's coming for nose, or maybe that other roll now. It's really cutting hard. No, yeah, it's pretty close to nose.
Yeah, just nose.
I don't think that's what they wanted.
Nope, they were drawing up that roll to the left. They
I think,
just
like,
didn't pick up on
For my
the cut.
roll, I was like right around here. So if I give
It's
you
also
there,
hard to get up and sweep that stone
should be
to
pretty close.
massive effect at those normal weights. I
Mhm.
can say for myself at least.
If you had a Swiffer.
Yeah, if I only had a Swiffer. Hit and stick here for Taylor would give him a 3. Pretty comfortable position heading into the 6th.
Clean. Yep.
Now,
Yep.
how much is this one going to cut for her?
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard, Tay. Hard.
It's really cutting.
Hard to it.
I think she'll keep it
Hard.
around. Yeah,
Hard.
she'll keep it around.
Clean.
Yep, good shot.
Good sweep.
Yeah, real nice. Oh, I love that move. Do you see that move? Oh, I'm sweeping it and kicking it out
Yep.
move. I utilize that one myself quite often. So we'll see a 9-4 lead heading into the 6th end for Anderson Richardson. This event's title sponsor is Modus Financial. Modus Financial is your credit card processing and POS technology solution partner. Whether you need a single credit card swiper, POS equipment, or an integrated POS system, Modus has a solution. Modus Financial offers a wide variety of payment processing services, each with enhanced features designed to help process credit card payments, increase your sales, reduce expenses, and improve your productivity. Visit moduscc.com. And we're also seeing them set up the stones off to the side here. So that is what we call a power play.
Power play.
This power play brought to you by Endgame Curling. Elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Unlock the next level with our leading edge curling brooms and accessories. Both brooms feature eco-friendly fabric replacement, innovative looking locking sidings position,
heavy.
adjustable pivot resistance, quick disconnect broom head, travel broom, no slips, silicone sleeve, fabric
Hit it
for
thin.
club play, and WCF approved fabric. Visit endgamecurling.com.
And they look great too.
Okay.
And you look great too. I use an Endgame. I enjoy it. It's a good product.
Mind under.
All right, so Anderson Richardson starting the power play with the promote your guard attempt, I think. I wasn't watching it super close as I did that ad read, but I see the guard has been shifted over.
Gotta go a little. Wait.
Schweitzer Hagberg going to try and put one under the new guard position, I think, but it's curling up on her. Hold that line. Can they sneak by? Not quite.
Move that yellow over again.
Oh, there you go. Just put the guard back where it's meant to be.
Yep.
They're laughing a bit about that. So all in all, not bad. That'll have Ben drawing under this new guard. Play kind of drawn to the center is usually not exactly what you're looking for as the hammer team in a power play, but
Take advantage when it's there.
yep.
I struggle sometimes
Straight.
nearing an end of a
Line's
game.
good.
You're up 5 or 6 points.
Line's
It's
good.
kind of boring just to play clean ice.
Gotta go.
Curl.
I like to do things, and I see an opportunity, so I would take this shot.
Yeah, make it complicated.
Yeah.
That picked in my
Oh,
hand,
don't
too.
make a guard.
Don't really want to make a guard. Mixed doubles does force you to make things complicated since you can't remove anything in the first 3 shots. So from now, I think you'll see them playing to simplify.
I think so. But I'm pretty sure that's not what they wanted.
No, they wanted to come around and get into the house, but at the same time, double peel opportunity later.
Yep. Yes.
So you're saying that was a setup shot just to make
Yeah, so Ben can look good with his big weight peels later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You know, when you got a big lead, you can just set yourself up to look cool. It's a luxury you have.
I mean, this is why we all started curling.
To look cool. That's absolutely right.
Look at that. That's a beauty.
That's a nice result.
Oh,
Whoa!
bad.
What?
Oh, how did that happen?
Yeah,
That-
through the port.
That picked on something and made a really unnatural grab at the end.
Yeah, that turned a whole
Think
stone.
like a normal.
And that changes the shot that's going to be called completely, I think, too.
Entirely. It was going to be frozen
Herb?
on that back corner.
You want me to sweep?
Oh, unlucky for Red.
Wow. Well, either way, we're going to see Ben's big weight. Now it's just directed at this potential double in the house instead of a double peel.
All right. So probably
So what's
curl
your
a little bit
headbird?
even with firm.
Props.
Yep.
I didn't hear any. There was no beeping needed.
Yeah, they do not need to be censored. Nope. I have this too, where I'm watching a curling thing and I just kind of
Clean.
speak out. It's like, oh, what is happening? Ugh. That's
Whoa.
just when those things
Whoa, whoa,
go.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh, is this
whoa.
gonna find the gap? It's gonna hit it
gonna
thin.
get one.
Thanks.
Got
Sorry.
the one, but did reposition it very nicely behind the guard. So
Yep. It's there. But
I think this is still better.
improvement.
yeah,
Again, you have a lot of flexibility when you're up 5.
I don't know.
that's
they're-
true. They don't need to be too worried about it, but it does give just a little sliver of hope for a multiple score here.
Yep. You still got those 2 center guards that I don't think anybody intended to be there.
Right.
So, opportunity.
Mixed doubles just wants center guards. It can't help itself. See if we can navigate this port.
Line's good.
This is the side we were playing more, and we were seeing that kind of big finish.
Yep.
Don't want to touch this.
well-
Weight's all there.
And so here's where it usually cuts.
Here it goes.
Will it come to a stop, though?
Sit.
See you go. This is what I mean. Like, mixed doubles just wants a center guard, and it wants a back 4. It's
Turn.
You'd never know this was a power play.
the previous end, they wanted to turn it into a power play. This power play, just by conservation laws, I think, has to become like a normal end.
Yes.
So here we go, back to a very typical, like, mixed doubles normal thing. Hey, we have a freeze target. Let's make a draw.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll put one right on the back.
Room.
Weight's close.
All right, so it might be a
Hey,
little wide.
Straight. Really straight. Hard. Hard.
Oh,
Hard.
it's turning hard.
Hard. Hard, Ben. Yeah.
Still got a chance, does he?
Hard.
No,
Hard. All you got.
I think it's just a little light. I think
Yeah.
the line was probably the right one.
I concur. Just a little down. Probably through top 12, top 8 weight.
I-
Needed just 4 more
I think
feet.
so.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a tale of
It's
two
like
halves here
top
because
eight.
the right side of the sheet, as we're currently looking at it, was running quick, and maybe the left side is not played as much and running slightly slower. And how much adjustment do you make? All that stuff. Well, opportunity again. Can he just suck another one right through
This
that
is a
same
touch
path?
more.
That's the shot.
I'm afraid of getting by that top red.
Pull it right through there. Maybe a couple feet less weight, ideally. Same shot.
Yep, same shot. Does want to move hard too, so if you do take the weight off, have to be ready to hold on to it. But this one looks a little heavier and a little wider to my eye.
Yep, me too. It's going to be on yellow, it looks like.
Maybe where does it go after
Oh.
the tick?
Maybe.
It's
It counts.
third best.
It counts.
We're used to
Just gotta come
counting
through here
stones that are only touching the forefoot, where it feels like that's the only way to score in mixed doubles. But
What kind of weight?
This is a different end.
We
We-
could also just make
we
this
paint all
look
the
like
circles for a reason.
Normal.
You want more than normal?
I don't think we need to throw more than
All right,
normal.
so they're going for the double.
Okay.
Maybe like a
in
9,
stick.
like a good normal.
right, so
Okay.
unfortunately, as a product
And
of
yours
ticking
didn't move?
their way into the
Yeah.
house, they opened
It'll
more
curl
of
a
that
little
stone
bit, but
to
not
be
a
hit.
ton.
So the guard is less guardy than it was. That's more technical terminology for you.
Guardy.
Guardy and guardishness.
Mm-hmm. Webster's is listening.
It's a very flexible language, this English.
Well, we tried to figure out Estonian earlier.
We're still trying to figure out English in this draw.
Whoa, green. Yep.
Guide.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Yep.
This is looking pretty good.
Whoa. Watch the roll. Sit.
Great shot by Taylor.
Nice shot, Tay. Really good.
Thanks.
I was laughing a bit to myself
I'll
because
spell again.
Taylor's getting up to sweep her own stone, and Bells yells down to her immediately, yep.
Yep.
So she's scrambling to get to the stone, and as soon as she gets there, he says, whoa.
Yep. It's the best. Or never, 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 never hard.
Yep. All the way, off.
That's all we have, right?
Every sweeper's dream.
Yep. All the way and never take on, kind of flexible meanings.
Newer curlers learned really quick just to kind of listen to the skip, but always be ready for change.
Yep.
No.
So they're kind of calculating which angle has the best chance to get there. None of them are too attractive right now. They're looking at running in this yellow to make a long yellow double. That's the one that Blake seems to like the best.
I think it's the
Okay.
best high risk, but if you hit pretty much nose on that top yellow guard, I think you'd hit a pretty close to perfect angle on that.
Get there.
I don't know.
I feel like the nose runs straight back, kicks out your own red.
Kicks out your red, and then that's the risk, right? So if I'm yellow, that's the shot you want, and that's like the easiest shot using that angle is just a straight run back of yellow, and I think yellow would end up sitting too. So you have to hit on the outside of
Yeah, we
yellow
give
by
up 2
like
here, we're done.
an inch, and you might split both yellows. If it's worth it, or could you use your top 12 red?
Half of
Right.
that rock.
If the
Whatever.
guard
I'll throw
positioning
this.
was slightly different, I would say that feels better because at least you're running in your own color, but I don't think they can see enough of it.
I'll play the run. Yeah.
Trying to read I think the decision was trying that long yellow double.
That's what it looks like. They spent the most time looking at. That's what they're doing. Looking top down, I do. Top
Whoa!
12
Whoa!
red.
Yes!
Ooh, this curled up on him.
Over-curling. Over-curling.
So no change there. It'll be one yellow, so we'll
Just shake. It's fine.
Trying to read here if that'll be it. Teams
Yep.
talk and shake. Yep.
There it is.
So that'll be your final. That'll be 10-4. Anderson Richardson win over Schweitzer Hagberg. So thanks again to our sheet sponsor for this draw, Revive Restoration. Revive Restoration is Madison's largest independent family-owned restoration company. They have been successfully restoring damaged properties in the central Wisconsin area for thousands of home and business owners. Revive offers complete emergency mitigation services for properties affected by fire, water, smoke, mold, and trauma. Our emergency response teams are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We would like to direct you to their website for more information, revivepros.com. So that'll do it for our featured draw, but we can direct you to the Madison Curling Club Facebook page and YouTube's for static views of all these other games with these great curlers going on, so you can join other games that are currently in progress. So thanks to everyone for tuning in, and that'll do it for this draw. Come back and see us at 12:30. Bye now.